Hello. I decided to delete a couple or a few of my videos that have been on my YouTube channel from last year, from 2023. And I'm going to try and condense what was in those videos into this one video just for a few different reasons. But yeah, hopefully this will kind of just update you from the video before and let you know what happened and where I'm at. So at the start of 2023, I was holding in my taper of Valium. If you're new to the channel, this channel is about my journey, my injury from psychiatric medication and coming off of it. So I've been slowly tapering Valium for years now, for 3 years I think. And so I was holding in my taper at 5 milligrams and decided that I would try and come off my birth control pill, and thought nothing of it, as I did because I've done it before and everything's been fine. In the other videos on my channel, I was kind of guessing as to what was going on with me, but I know what happened to me now, and so that's why I want to kind of put it in this video for everyone. So a few weeks after I came off the birth control pill, I experienced just hell on earth. I had severe akathisia, like severe. All of it, the outer, the inner, the mental. If you don't know what akathisia is, it is a severe movement, they call it a movement disorder, where you can't stop moving, you can't stop pacing, you are in constant terror, doom, really, really bad thoughts. It is horrific. That started happening to me and I was like, what the heck is going on? I started to get severe skin burning. I can't even tell you guys the symptoms I was having. It was just insane. And I started to notice, though, after a couple of months, that it would come and go in severity with my cycle. And that's when I thought it was these bars I was eating, but it wasn't. And I put two and two together and realized that this was causing some kind of reaction in me. I couldn't find any information anywhere on this happening before to anybody. All I could find was, I think it was on the Benzo Coalition website, a really brief description of how progesterone interacts with GABA. And obviously, if you're on a benzo, your GABA is compromised, your GABA receptors in your brain. So I was put, I tried to unalive myself multiple times, and I went into psychiatric hospitals looking for help, but also at the same time not wanting to be put on any medication because everything gives me a reaction or can harm me. So it was a very tricky situation, and I just kept holding on, and I was put back on the birth control pill. And the only other thing I tried benztropine, which is kind of the doctor's, after propranolol, it's kind of the doctor's go-to for treating akathisia, and it didn't really help. So the psychiatrist was like, well, what's going on with you isn't acting in any way that I know of. It doesn't act like akathisia acts, so it kind of can't be that, which I didn't know really what to think of. I was like, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? I don't know. My second admission, I went on clonidine, and I'm currently still on that. Don't know if it really does anything. Might help anxiety a little bit, I'm not sure. But yeah, I had no idea that this type of thing could happen. You know, as a woman, we us women have a whole lot of other things to deal with, you know, underneath the injury when it comes to hormones. They're constantly fluctuating throughout the month, and it's a little bit different to the way men's bodies and what men's bodies go through. I'm not saying it's worse. I'm not trying to do that whole thing. I'm just saying there's a lot of underlying stuff for women to try and figure out in their tapers and just when they're injured from psychiatric meds. And there's also labels that are put onto us with this type of thing because we are hormonal human beings. You know, doctors are quick to say you have PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, or it's PMS, or you have a personality disorder, things like that. So the reason I'm telling my little story and putting it on YouTube is for any woman who's in psychiatric drug withdrawal or has been injured by psychiatric medication and is having trouble with their periods or with their moods during it, or coming off of birth control, going on birth control. It is all so interwoven and interconnected with the brain, which I had no clue, no clue. I wasn't taught that at all. Doctors barely even know anything about it. So yeah, that's kind of the story of what happened last year. I was so severely sick. I could barely look after my kids. I could barely look after myself. My whole life was turned upside down. I had been in drug withdrawal and tapering for, you know, a few years prior, and that was horrible enough. But nothing prepared me for what happened when I came off birth control while on Valium. This video I would love to see go to a professional. It's hard to find anybody who cares or believes that this is a thing. If this, you know, story gets to a professional, whether it be an endocrinologist, gynecologist, I would just love to have their input, because this is an issue that affects all women who are on this journey, and there's just not any information about it. There's not anywhere near enough information. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. That's just a really, really quick, condensed story of what happened last year. But I can't even tell you the amount of pain and suffering that I went through last year just from doing that. I was so ill, guys. I'm still injured. I had the first injury back in 2020 when I had anti-nausea meds after a surgery and I got akathisia. That was the first injury. And then I was put on all the Valium, and then I started tapering. This is kind of like another injury in itself. It's just like a secondary kind of injury, but it is by far the most traumatic thing that I've ever been through in my entire life. And there's probably a lot of questions like, well, because I haven't sat here and told you everything, but I just wanted to update people because I think I left the video before letting you know that I was having a break and, you know, from making any videos. And I've been really sick the past year is the update. And now, I'm still injured. I still go through a lot of symptoms every single day, which I'm going to make a video about right after this, and I will post. But that's where I am now. I am not currently in what you would call acute akathisia or injury. This is like chronic, I guess you would call it. But it's still incredibly hard to deal with every day. It's still incredibly hard to remember everything that happened last year. There's a lot of post-traumatic stress from it and everything. But I'm getting through the days, even though they're extremely hard. And yeah, I'll kind of make another video about all the symptoms and that type of thing. But that's what's happened. And I continue to taper. So very slowly on a liquid Valium. And I don't know how long it's going to take, because we can try and plan these things, but we just don't know. So that's what happened. That's where I am now, and just a little update for you there. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.